Hey guys, Luke here and welcome back to episode 17 of my FIFA 16 Swansea City career mode. Now this is pretty much the last episode. We will be having a goals compilation next episode, but this is the FA Cup final. It's going to be the only game of the episode, and we are taking on Newcastle United at Wembley Stadium. It is pissing down rain there, but I've got to say, we probably got the most favourable draw we could have got. You can see there we knocked out a lot of big names: Arsenal, Manchester City, and then Man United. So yeah, we pretty much played all the big names on our way to the final. So the final itself is, quite an easy game compared to some of the other ones we've already taken on, and some of those other games we played were with sides that were a bunch of, random sort of. But going into this, Newcastle United, you see their side, I nailed them in at right back, which was something that immediately was like, we got to exploit that. And just, I got to say, Newcastle side just doesn't look particularly that good. Our side, on the other hand, looks quite impressive. Carlos Eduardo's been in good form. I'm really digging this new formation, and I think we're just a pretty strong overall side. So I was really expecting to win this one. I'm not sure how comfortably, but definitely was confident in winning this. And I got to say, in terms of having a successful season, league position wasn't what we wanted to be. To be quite frank with you, it was pretty decent, but I felt we maybe could have done a little bit better. But we had to focus on things elsewhere, which is the FA Cup. An FA Cup here would really just cement that we had a really good season. But see, Sigurdsson on the ball here did quite a good little bit of dribbling just there, turned in a circle really, but actually causing a little bit of havoc for Newcastle. But you see right here, it's Jefferson Montero, and he's brought down by Wijnaldum, who's in at the right back position, the man that we said we want to exploit. And I was thinking maybe he's going to get a red card, a yellow, but nothing. There was no card, but you see they're tugging on the shirt initially, goes in for the slide tackle, and Montero brought down in the box, and we'll be looking to make it 1-0. It is Sigurdsson who is with the duty of taking it, and you can see there in the yellow, which made us send it straight over the goal, which was super annoying. And I was thinking, shit, is this a sign of things to come? Hopefully not, but it is Mitrovic on the ball there. He's just waiting for someone else to come up, and it's Tiote, who I'm not sure if Tudordi is a big fan of Tiote at the moment, but you've got Sissoko, who's definitely a good player. Wouldn't mind having Sissoko in the side, to be honest, but it's Tiote with a shot there, and it's a pretty tame shot. Rob Green just handles it quite easily. We've had a few tame shots from both sides, and it's going to be a bit of an extended highlights this game, otherwise the video is going to be very short. But that's a nice little interception there. Didn't catch exactly who it was, probably Montero just there actually, but we've got Dyer on one wing, going for all the pace. I should mention, no AU in the starting lineup, but Shelvey creates a bit of, well, he didn't create a bit of space, but ended up in a bit of space, but he wins the ball back. John Joe Shelvey, what's he going to do? Squares it, Sigurdsson, it's saved, but falls back to John Joe Shelvey, and John Joe Shelvey, arguably the best player of our season so far, or thus far. This is the last game of the season. I think we can make that claim. He's been our best player, but he comes up with the first goal of the game. Sigurdsson really should have finished that, but that was just great determination there by John Joe as he made the tackle. The play looked like it was over and done with. It looked like it, like I said, over and done with. It was gone, and then he just made sure he got the ball back, and he was through on goal. He wasn't through on goal, but he had enough wherewithal to put the ball into the box sort of thing, and Sigurdsson was there. Unfortunately, he couldn't have scored it himself, but thankfully the rebound came back to us at 1-0 at half time. You see, it was pretty much all us, I got to say. Newcastle have had a few little chances here and there, but I think we've had the better run of the play, and that's why we're in front. But is De Jong takes a shot, and it was deflected, and Rob Green had to scramble back there and try and tip it over the bar, which he did. But just thought it was worth mentioning that it very easily could have been a goal. Now, you might have seen Newcastle making a few substitutions, as will we soon. And they really should have finished that one. I think it was Torvin maybe who should have finished that shot there, but he ended up putting it over the bar, and actually was a really terrible shot anyways. If on target, probably would have been saved easily. But it is Sissoko who was sort of just playing with this a little bit there. I don't know who it was. Maybe it was John Joe who got embarrassed just there, but Sissoko just stood still and then went for it, took a shot, and Rob Green saved it easily. See, a bit of a late substitution, taking off Dyer, and can't remember who the other one was, but it was Zuccolini and AU came on. 90th minute, Correa nearly ended up getting the sealer just there, but thankfully for us, that was the last play of the game really. Krul caught the ball and kicked it, but that was it. John Joe Shelvey with the lone goal of the game, and it would have been nice if we could have got that penalty. I think that really would have just got us going completely, but we ended up winning in the end, and that's all that matters. And I can safely say that this was a successful season in my eyes, and I think we're moving on to bigger and better things. Now obviously, sort of looking for stepping stones. FA Cup it's really, really nice to win, but it is a little bit of a stepping stone. Top 4 would have been nice if we could have got that, but it's just the fact that we were in the FA Cup and we just went for silverware over the top 4. But I think next season, I don't really care about trying to retain the FA Cup or Capital One Cup or anything like that. The main focus will be getting top 4. And I'd say that sort of attitude would be shared by the board as well, I would think. But you see there, Ashley Williams, the captain, he had a phenomenal season, and he's actually a really, really good player in this game. But you can see there's the manager, there's my guy, didn't actually get to make him this year, but I think we've got a good bunch of lads in the squad, and it's a well-deserved FA Cup victory. You see they hoist up the trophy there in the middle of Wembley Stadium. I'm not sure if it's still pissing down rain. Yes, it is still pissing down rain there, and you see the black and white bits of confetti are raining down, as well as the normal rain there. But I think it's like I said, well deserved. We absolutely dominated this FA Cup. In the league, we weren't all that impressive for most of the season. There were lots of 0-0 draws and that sort of stuff, but when it came to FA Cup, we were switched on, and you saw that. I think it did help that we took on a lot of those big sides. I think going back to our first game against Crewe Alexandra, we rotated the squad. Well, we got away with, I think it was maybe penalties, or we got a late penalty, something like that. But moving on to this game, where it's pretty much just it was pretty much just a do or die situation, and we did have the comfort of if it's a draw, we still got extra time and penalties, which I was comfortable in going into, because I thought we would win on penalties as well. But yeah, just all these big sides, they just couldn't handle us. I think it was the speed out wide, and also you could bang them in from distance as well with John Joe and Sigurdsson and that sort of stuff as well. So excellent work there from the Swans. Very, very happy. You can see Newcastle actually had more shots, but we had equal amounts of shots on target, and a lot of their shots were just long distance ones, as you saw, so it wasn't particularly that good. But John Shelby picked up man of the match, which I also think was well deserved. He got the goal. He also set up sort of the goal for himself. And there's the final sort of table. You already saw who we took on, and I got to say Newcastle's run was fairly easier. I think we were on the tougher side, I got to say. But it's going to be a few guys we're going to be looking to sign. They came and said that they wanted out. Abreu is one of them. He's a Brazilian. We've got Anderson, who looks like an incredible player. I think he's 87 to 93 potential, so I was really happy to pick him up. I'm going to be offering him the contract here in a second. I left mid, so I'm pretty happy about that. I forget what Abreu is. I think he's a CDM possibly, and I think there was a goalkeeper, Ochieng, who had a pretty good potential as well. I wouldn't sign them if they didn't have decent potential, so I'm not going to show absolutely everything that happens towards back in the season, because I want to have a little bit of surprise for next season. But there are a few things in terms of contract negotiations and all that sort of stuff that we're having a look at. But I thought, let's go and have a look at some of these players that we went inside. So you see Ochieng. The problem is I didn't get to wait for that next I think there's a certain month where they sort of would jump up in ability. So Ochieng, height not exactly the greatest, but he should have pretty good potential. I'm not really sure exactly how he'll progress being a 51 rated, but Abreu I'm a lot more confident in. He's a right wing. He has pretty poor weak foot and skill moves, so that's a bit annoying. But you know what, if he's got pace, whatever, we can deal with that. Don't use skill moves too often. Ericsson has a terrible week foot. He does have skill moves though, so it's okay, but man, that weak foot stuff is killing us. It's absolutely killing us there. So we're just going to have to try and deal with it. And I think the last guy that left midfield, we didn't show him. He's actually really good. I think he's got 5-star skill moves, 5-star weak foot. Only thing is the work rates, but I'm pretty happy with his signing. Now there are some contract situations that I haven't shown, and the contracts being John Joe Shelby, Gabriel, and Jordy and Matt. I think we might have already re-signed, but just a few of those contract situations. But you'll see next season what the fallout was. It's a pretty interesting one, I got to say that much. But thank you for watching this series. Hopefully you did enjoy it. If you did, please leave a like, subscribe to my channel, follow me on Twitter at MrLukeNYT, face the page in the description below, and stay tuned for tomorrow's episode, which is going to be a goals compilation, best of the season. Bye guys.